Hi, it's me, Kimberly Clark, the original de-influencer, and I'm using my experience as an anti-consumerist YouTube beauty guru to help you realize that you are more than the material. This is how to stop shopping in 5 easy steps.
It's what I'm not gonna buy. Just admit that I'm gonna lie. I am more than this. I am so much more.
For the purposes of this video, I want us to take a moment to disconnect our brain from the most common associations with the phrase self-care that have been projected upon us by selling. Self-care is not a scented candle. Self-care is not a one-time use face mask with unethically sourced ingredients. Self-care is not loyalty points. If I've done my job, the previous videos in this series have not only convinced you that spending excessive money on things you don't need doesn't make you feel better, but also bolsters a corrupt system that is rooted in exploitation with disregard for our planet and those living on it. If we release ourselves from the lie that consumerism cares about anything other than profits, how do we take care of ourselves? And more specifically, how do we combat the very immediate ways consumerism confronts us, puts us into these states of mind that cause us to spend? The gist of this step can be summed up in one word that you've probably heard before: mindfulness. It basically means bringing your awareness into the present moment and releasing the distractions of anxiety and concern for things that are not here and now. There are many methodologies and practices that center this idea. For example, the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh explains mindfulness with this simple example in his book, The Miracle of Mindfulness, which describes 2 ways of washing dishes. The first is to wash the dishes in order to have clean dishes, and the second is to wash the dishes in order to wash the dishes. The first way describes a future desired state, a place where you want to be that's not here, whereas the second way describes living in the present moment and considering what you are doing while you are doing it. Both methods result in clean dishes, but by constantly focusing on the end result, you miss out on the actual experience of doing the task and benefiting from the calmness that focusing on one thing at a time can bring. When we find ourselves in these spending states, we may feel like we are living in the moment, but I would argue that consumerism itself, the process of being sold to and then purchasing of a product, is inherently disconnected from the here and now. Take this example. You're in a Sephora and you see a lipstick shade that looks just right. It flatters your skin tone and your favorite influencer was just talking about this particular brand. And on top of that, there are additional circumstances that have put you in a spending state. You had a bad day at work and you're on your way home, but what awaits you is some other stressful situation there. What's more, you don't know how long this lipstick will be in stock, or the next time you'll be able to purchase it. It might be now or never. In this moment, you may feel like you are very present, but let me contrast it with this experience. You are at home. You take out your favorite lipstick shade that you know and love, you apply it, you look in the mirror, and smile. What are the differences between these 2 experiences, and how does one represent a state of mindfulness while the other does not? I would argue that there just isn't any way to be 100% mindful while shopping in a Sephora, or any store for that matter. The lighting, the store layout, the graphic design, the music, even the scripts for engaging with the customers that the employees rehearse are all crafted to pull you out of yourself and into a state of imagining a better version of you. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a better person, but I think it's definitely wrong to imply that this can only be achieved by buying something. But let's say you've ignored all of that. You've come here with a purpose. You beeline to the lipstick your fave just raved about in her latest haul video. Even as you stand there holding that one singular item, your mind wanders. You consider all of the product reviews. You consider the times you've followed the advice of said influencer and the times they've led you astray. You're thinking in the past, but you're also imagining the future. You think about getting home, unboxing the lipstick, swatching it in comparison to your other similar shades, hoping you didn't just waste money on a dupe. Then there are the other people around you. You don't mean to, but you look at the way they use lipstick. Am I just trying to be like someone else? Am I even good enough to think I could look as good as someone else? Your mind is everywhere but here and now. In the other example, the one that doesn't involve any new and exciting product to try out, there are limited distractions. It's just you and your face, and your shade that you know works. You get to watch the transformation in real time. It's amazing how fundamentally transformative something like a lip color can be, isn't it? And yes, you may have other thoughts in your mind, like comparing how you look to the trends you've been following, or considering wear time, appropriateness. Am I really wearing this shade for this occasion? But in that moment, you can exist with yourself and the image of yourself in that mirror, one that you made, that you are responsible for, that you find joy in right now. So yes, constant mindfulness is the ultimate goal, but I'll level with you. I don't always have those incredibly positive Jennifer Lewis level experiences in the mirror.
I brush my teeth every morning, spit it out, I go like this in the mirror, and I lean forward and I pause. And I say these words, pretty bitch.
But when I do have experiences of feeling good about myself in my skin, I've almost always taken the time to pause and tune my awareness to the moment at hand. When we shop, we're jilted out of the now. We're often caught off guard without adequate time to really see ourselves for who we currently are with the things we currently have. We're shown a quick sketch of a future self with more, and no matter how many times the more doesn't make us happy, we keep coming back to the same old cycles because, well, frankly, it's often easier to live in a fantasy that will never, ever come true than to face the reality of right here, right now. In step 3, you hopefully began or rededicated yourself to a journey of confronting who you are and what you really want. But we don't have to arrive at any final state of enlightenment in order to start developing practices to combat the state of mind that makes us spend compulsively. Of course, it's always best to avoid entering a spending state to begin with, but centering yourself in the present moment can also be used to help escape from one of these out-of-control episodes, should you find yourself in one. Similarly, if you slip up and make that compulsive purchase, you can still use mindfulness to be gentle with yourself and help recover so you're less likely to do it again. Regardless of what phase of your spending state you find yourself in, or in a larger view, where you are on your anti-consumerist journey, strategies that encourage mindfulness and connecting to the present moment are always useful. Depending on where you are, the same techniques can help you avoid, escape, or recover from a spending state, as well as help you focus on your overall goal, to stop shopping. A quick disclaimer here. Addiction is a disease, and an addiction to shopping might be a disease you simply can't treat on your own. If these steps aren't enough, consider seeking professional help or joining a support group like Debtors Anonymous. I know asking for help is hard, but the fact that you're here means you're willing to make the effort to change, which is a huge first step. So if you need to, reach out. There are many ways to practice mindfulness, but I'll explain 3 of them now. 1. Breathing. So much mindfulness and meditation work begins with the breath. Deep, focused breathing is known as a parasympathetic action. The sympathetic nervous system is active in times of stress. It controls our fight or flight response. It evolved in order to protect us from natural predators or dangerous situations. Having an elevated heart rate, higher blood pressure, and a brain flooded with adrenaline is absolutely beneficial for escaping immediate danger. They help you move faster, react quicker when you need to, but remaining in this heightened state for a prolonged period of time is detrimental to your health. So we evolved the parasympathetic system. The parasympathetic nervous system controls the body's ability to relax and helps us decompress after a fight or flight situation, slowing our heart rate to a healthy one and lowering our blood pressure. Even though the modern stressors that put us in a state in which we're likely to shop are almost never life-threatening, our physiology can still react as if they are. These overstimulated states are perfect storms of illogical decision-making, and doing some simple breathing exercises can calm the waves enough for you to think clearly. Let's try a simple breathing exercise together. First, make sure you're grounded in some way. If you're lying down, try sitting up or standing. If you're already standing, make sure to feel your feet on the ground. And if you're seated, feel your sits bones or the base of your pelvis on the chair. And make sure your feet are firmly planted on the floor. Connect to your diaphragm. It's the muscle in your abdomen that controls your breath. Your lungs are organs, not muscles. They're basically just bags that inflate or deflate as the abdomen moves up or down. Place your hand on your stomach and breathe in. As you do, you should feel your abdomen moving out towards your hand. Then exhale. You should feel your stomach moving in, navel moving towards your spine. If your stomach is moving the opposite of this, try to focus and adjust accordingly. Start to notice your breath. Focus on how your diaphragm moves and how your lungs fill up with air and empty. As you breathe, think of your lungs as three-dimensional organs, expanding in all directions when you inhale, including the back and sides. Think of your ribs expanding like fingers, opening as you breathe in and contracting as you breathe out. Now let's breathe together. Take a deep breath in through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, and out through your mouth. 2, 3, 4. Again. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. You can continue this practice for as long as you need to center yourself in the moment. If you want, you can extend the inhale and exhale to 8 counts. Even just becoming mindful of the natural breath can be useful. Breathe naturally and try to only think about breathing in and out. Count 10 breaths. Inhale 1, exhale 1. Inhale 2, exhale 2. All the way up to 10. If your mind starts to wander, start back at 1. Breathing techniques like these are incredibly useful in any phase of a spending state, or any time when you want to shake yourself out of a fight or flight situation. 2. Mantra. Having a phrase that you repeat to yourself is useful in meditation and in practicing mindfulness. Try to find something that speaks to you in the moment, or write down several phrases that you could easily return to, but make sure it's something that positively reinforces your own control of yourself in the present moment. Repeat these phrases in your head until you calm down, and if your mind starts to wander, just go back to the phrase. Some go-to mantras could be, I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. Everything I need is within me. Everything I need is within me. Everything I need is within me. Every day, in every way, I am getting stronger. Every day, in every way, I am getting stronger. Every day, in every way, I am getting stronger. Your mantras can also be specific to anti-consumerism. In fact, so many of you have described how you already use catchphrases from my videos to prevent you from making a purchase. You can imagine yourself in your own little Kimberly Clark-esque anti-haul and say, I don't need it and I'm not gonna buy it. I don't need it and I'm not gonna buy it. I don't need it and I'm not gonna buy it. Or you could even sing the What I'm Not Gonna Buy theme song. It's what I'm not gonna buy. It's just something that I'm not gonna buy. But these phrases only really work if you're avoiding entering a spending state or escaping one you're already in. If you've made that regretful purchase and are trying to be gentle and gracious with yourself, try reciting the next line in the song. I am more than the material. I am more than the material. I am more than the material. Because you are. 3. Reorientation. This is actually a technique that I found very helpful when I quit smoking over a decade ago. Cigarettes for me marked time, beginnings and ends of all parts of my day. They also helped me take breaks from monotonous tasks or situations in which I felt stuck in some way. When I gave them up, I found myself getting stuck all the time, unable to move on to new tasks, absorbed in a myopic spiral. And then I would do this simple technique of changing my spatial orientation, literally just changing the direction I was facing. If I was stuck staring at my computer screen, I'd sit back, turn my body to the right or left, and take in what I would see. This change of perspective, and then this simple observation of what I could see from this new angle, was enough to jumpstart my brain out of whatever rut I was stuck in. It connected me to the now because I was able to release my mind from whatever I was thinking about before that had me stuck and simply answer the question, what do you see? When you answer this question, try and be as specific as possible with your observations. I see a tall tree with large flat leaves. It's swaying slightly in the wind. I see a red fabric-covered chair with cat scratches on the left arm. Counting can help too. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow and green leaves on the sidewalk. Just like a meditation practice in which you simply name every feeling that comes into your mind without judgment, reorienting yourself in a space and acknowledging what you see is a kind of brain reset. It prevents you from thinking about what isn't there, i.e. thinking about the past or the future, and forces you to connect to what is there now. It also adds new information, allowing your mind to keep moving forward instead of getting stuck on one idea or object. This sounds like an incredibly simple technique, but it is amazing how effective reorienting yourself in a space can be. So now you have these 3 simple strategies to help you avoid, escape, or recover from the immediate crisis of a spending state: breathing, mantra, and reorientation. But as with any practice of self-betterment, don't wait until you're in a fight or flight state to try them out. In fact, it is when we are in our most centered, subdued moments that we can best develop self-care strategies to be applied when we are stressed. Like maybe, after you've listened to the dulcet timbre of a baritone drag queen talking about mindfulness for several minutes. If you're feeling chill and relaxed now, try some of the strategies I described in this video. Notice how they make you feel. Develop a sense memory of what it feels like to refocus and center yourself. The more you do, the more you'll believe that you can successfully come back from the brink of spending when you're in the heat of the moment. In addition to these short-term strategies, you can practice mindfulness in one way that isn't directly reactionary to a spending state, but helps you avoid them in the long run, nevertheless. If you compulsively shop, you may end up with more things than you know what to do with, and often with little connection to or awareness of what you already have. Organizing your space can help you not only understand what you already own, but can also be as joyful as buying something new. Rediscovering old products that you didn't remember you had can create that same spark of joy as purchasing a new one, without having to spend any money. What's more, storing products in an organized way can help us feel complete with what we have, instead of constantly thinking about what's missing. A lot of consumerism is driven by this idea of collecting, acquiring as many as you can of a certain product type or series. But so many of us store our collections in disorganized containers, boxes, bins, or in closets, never to be appreciated or acknowledged. Using Marie Kondo's method from The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, which I can't recommend enough, not only focuses on discarding things that don't spark joy, but storing the items you do love in a way that allows you to access and appreciate them. Without having a home, new things that you buy will just add to the clutter. The spark of joy of the purchase will fade, and you'll need to buy something else in order to get another fix. But if your products are stored and displayed beautifully, you can continuously connect to the joy of discovering them over and over again. Another benefit of having the things you own organized and stored in a way that allows you to access them means that you're more likely to actually use them because you can see them. It's wild, but the method of discarding what you don't use or love and storing what you've kept with respect and care really does change your spending habits. When I completed Marie Kondo's method, I would say I discarded at least half of everything I owned. I was terrified that I would immediately want to replace what I had lost, but the opposite happened. Because I had the perfect amount of things, just the right amount to make me feel complete, the general background anxiety that something was missing was gone. Having fewer things didn't mean I needed more. The things I had became so much more meaningful that my standard for purchasing new things became instantly elevated. I didn't need to buy more to fill a void because what I had was enough. Caring about what I had allowed me to care about myself. If the stuff I had was enough, then so was I. I can't rave enough about how much the KonMari method changed my life, and I've already got a whole other video describing my process, but I highly recommend picking up her book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, and her follow-up book, Spark Joy, if you'd like to try it yourself. Make sure to get them at a local bookstore or library, though, if you do, not Amazon. Self-care and mindfulness are, in a sense, self-trust. Trusting that you are enough and that you have the tools to help you balance the many sympathetic system stimulating consumerist hellscapes that we're constantly being forced to trudge through. Knowing ourselves means knowing how to take care of ourselves, and the more we can do that, the less we'll rely on consumerism to pretend to do it for us. You are more than the material. Now begins the work of developing the practices that allow you to tap into that knowledge whenever and wherever you need it, and to develop a relationship to what you already own that allows you to feel complete. We've almost reached the end of the tutorial portion of our anti-consumerist journey. I've got one more step to share with you that will not only show you that you are not alone, but our true strength comes in our collective power to stop shopping. Congratulations! You've completed step 4 of How to Stop Shopping in 5 Easy Steps, Create Systems of Self-Care. If you'd like to support me and my work, consider sending me a tip on Venmo at Kim Clark Queen, or join the House of Clark by becoming a patron of mine on Patreon. Thanks to everyone that's continued to support me over the years. I wouldn't be here without you. Thanks for watching, and I'll meet you in our final video. Step 5, Build Real Community. As always, I'm Kimberly Clark. Bye!
Material, 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 material. It's one of